Chapter 2, Part 5. Neither Eiji nor Lugamon could believe what they were seeing. Marvin's mighty Megadramon, which looked all-powerful mere moments ago, was now motionless and spewing smoke. Its cyborg-armored arms hung limp at its sides, massive gashes torn into the metal. What could possibly have cut into that deeply? Nito Seirai! Twin sword slashes ripped through the air at those words, destroying everything in their path. Lugamon continued to search for whatever had done this. One of the X-Nation's defensive units? It seemed possible. "Marvin! Hey, Marvin!" Eiji shouted, but heard no reply. This was bad, he thought to himself. Megadramon must have shut down from all the damage. He couldn't even talk to Marvin. When people mind-link to their Digimon, the Digicore is safe so long as the person doesn't hololize themselves, or otherwise leave the core's confines. If the Digicore doesn't take any damage, the human within won't either. If the core gets damaged, or the Digimon loses consciousness or otherwise ceases operation, the human consciousness within loses all contact with their Digimon and the outside world. "Hey, new guy!" A voice in chat from one of the other pairs of SOC leaders pierced the silence. They had made short work of the defenses on their way to the meetup point. "Machine Romans hasn't been captured yet," one of them yelled, startled. "Whoa! What happened to Marvin?" the other said as they both rushed over to Megadramon's side. "A sneak attack took out Megadramon, and I can't reach Marvin." Eiji gave a panicked summary of the situation. They got him? We were supposed to draw all the defense forces away from you guys." The pair were utterly bewildered. "If the defense forces didn't do it, then you don't think it was the Digipolice?" Eiji blurted out, panic filling his voice anew. The SOC pair shot at that theory down immediately. This was above everyone's pay grade. If it came to light that the Japanese police had also hacked the X-Nation's server, it would be the definition of an international incident. It was incredibly risky to do it so openly. "We're up against another mega-level enemy. Everybody stay." What was that? A cloud of static? Digital noise? There was nothing there. And yet Eiji could see something catch the light. No sooner had the thought crossed Eiji's mind than it forced through him and all the others against the wall of the hangar. An electric shock ran through the wall, and from a purple electric cloud emerged lightning personified. "Kazuchimon!" The creature held twin blades crackling with lightning. Its clothing and obi-like belt recalled the Japanese god of thunder Takamikazuchi, from whom it likely took the inspiration for its name. "That thing is deadly!" Lugamon squeaked, trembling. The fear hit Eiji through the mind link. Kazuchimon could take on 1,000 of them with its horrific blades. It had honed its body and mind to absolute perfection. Its place as a Mega Digimon was well deserved. Eiji felt faint. Mega followed after Ultimate level Digimon. They were basically the gods of the digital world. The Machine Dramon in the X-Nation's possession was also a Mega Digimon, but Kazuchimon was on another level in a way Eiji couldn't quite articulate. Kazuchimon wasn't gigantic like Machine Dramon, yet it instilled levels of fear beyond its gigantic counterpart. Machine Dramon was right beside them, and yet Kazuchimon somehow felt more real, more alive. "A Mega Kazuchimon? We only know one person capable of wrangling that thing," one of the SOC leaders squeaked. "Wait, you know who's controlling that thing?" "It's another hacker," they said, their voice choked with fear. "Goes by the handle Judge." The Mega Kazuchimon let out 2 quick grunts as it swung its swords. The lightning bolt-shaped blades cut jagged shapes through the air. "Did you say Judge?" AG hadn't expected to hear a hacker's name. Hackers were no friends to codecrackers. They might as well be the police as far as everyone present was concerned. The only difference was that the police, with their ability to open negotiations and investigations and issue warrants, were in theory public servants. Hackers were private citizens on the internet with a penchant for vigilante justice. Self-governance types. Self-righteous types. Codecrackers fought for the freedom of the network, but there would always be those who didn't think the network should be so free. They wielded their so-called justice like a cudgel. Hackers had all sorts of ideas about what justice was, but all agreed on the need for it. That kept them from seeing eye to eye with codecrackers. Each group talked past the other. At last, Kazuchimon's data appeared on Eiji's virtual monitor. He noticed something right away. A mind link. Lugamon, that thing is... It would be able to unlock the full extent of its mega-level powers without one. That hacker is in deep, Lugamon said quietly. The next thing Eiji heard was the sound of rending metal, and his stomach dropped. Machine Dramon, who had been chained to the walls of the hangar, was not only awake, but finishing the job Marvin and Megadramon started. It had already freed an arm and a leg. It would be impossible to control if it escaped. An unchecked Machine Dramon loose on the network. Eiji didn't want to think about that. What a pity, Kazuchimon said at last. Eiji wondered if it was in fact Judge's voice coming through the voice chat. Then he wondered who on earth Judge was talking to. You have committed so many crimes. Not all of them willingly, perhaps, but you will be punished for them all the same. Kazuchimon, or Judge, said to Machine Dramon. Had Kazuchimon been focused on Machine Dramon all this time? Whatever the case was, Eiji had a bad feeling in the pit of his stomach. No way! He whisper-shouted, aghast at what he was seeing. Kazuchimon summoned a number of spheres made of pure electricity, like it was charging up for a massive attack. In mere moments, the small space just before Kazuchimon was filled with energy equal to the whole world's energy consumption at any given moment. This was pulse power, and it essentially formed the core of a small sun, kicking off nuclear fusion. Charges fired off every nanosecond from the mass of energy. Shinden Shoraiko! No one saw the exact moment it happened, but when the light faded and the sparks ceased flying, all that was left was Machine Dramon's hollowed-out husk. The charges had ripped clean through all the way down to its digicore. Eiji looked at Machine Dramon's shredded corpse. An ear-splitting roar reverberated throughout the hangar. Machine Dramon's death throes. The source of so many Digimon crimes and terrorist acts was perishing before their eyes, falling to pieces and threatening to take the hangar and data server with it. Return once more to your Digitama. This time, I pray you are not taken in by a wicked soul, Judge said, eulogizing the state-secret Digimon. So, this was the God of Thunder, the Mega Digimon. Kazuchimon turned around to face the remaining codecrackers. Its gaze was enough to freeze the leaders of the SOC in place. Eiji took stock of the situation. Megadramon lay unconsciousness on the floor of the hangar. Hopefully Marvin was still alive in there, somewhere, but he couldn't be sure. Oh shoot, Marvin, how long has he been mind-linked? Megadramon launched a massive attack when it attacked Machine Dramon's coded feathers, which meant even a seasoned veteran like Marvin had to be close to reaching his limits. As for you, SOC members, Judge said, fully turning his attention toward Eiji and the others. They know who we are, Lugamon growled. I've availed myself of your little operation here in order to quickly and efficiently rid the world of a state sponsor of terror. A massive source of Digimon crime has been eliminated, taking with it the X-Nation's ability to wage cyber warfare, Judge said. pausing as though waiting for applause. Yeah, way to swoop in and steal our kill, AG yelled. Spy or no spy, he couldn't contain his anger at someone interfering with the operation. And I thank you for your role in leading me to it. But as a hacker, Judge let the word hang in the air long enough for H to grit his teeth. I couldn't let you codecrackers have the pleasure. Judge severed the chat connection. So, that was it. Judge had plotted all this out based on a hacker's warped sense of justice. We have to get out of here, Lugerman said to AG through their mind link. Uh-huh. AG said, shaken out of his trance. The SOC operation was a failure. A colossal failure. This hacker's Mega Digimon unexpectedly interfered, and Marvin may be permanently lost. What should we do? Lugerman said, laying out the situation before them. It took all of 2 seconds for AG to reach the same conclusion. We've got to run. We can't be seen here, he said softly. Good answer, Lugerman replied. But we have to help Marvin, he said quickly. The guy from the SOC, the organization you're supposed to be spying on? He's not your friend, Lugerman snarled. I don't care. He made custom tools for me. He's a good guy. I've learned a lot from him, and I'm not just gonna let him... AG couldn't finish the thought. He switched to the chat with the other SOC leaders. This is AG. The operation is a failure. We'll draw the hacker away while you grab Marvin and get out of here. Okay, but are you sure you can take a Mega There's no time. Let's go, Lugerman. AG and Lugerman turned to face the enemy. One of the SOC teams approached Megadramon and attempted to scoop up Megadramon with the same tool they planned to use to capture Machine Dramon. Kazuchimon lowered one of its 2 lightning-shaped blades. The electricity crackling around the hangar dissipated. Where's your leader, Tartarus? Judge demanded. Rumor has it they've never lost a single person in any of the operations they planned. I expect I've dragged that reputation through the mud today. And if you think I'm going to stop there and let you go quietly, think again. This shall be the SOC's final resting place. Bautmon, Ultimate, Beastman, Vexen. Just your ultimate form? AG said, taunting but slightly surprised. This was a downgrade, not a digivolution, and he failed to see the rationale behind it. I've defeated Marvin and Megadramon, your greatest assets, and neutralized Machine Dramon, the greatest threat. This will be enough to clean up the rest of you, Judge said. AG would want to keep his distance if he could. Bautmon was a fighter. Getting involved in close quarters combat would be a death sentence. So we're weak? Easy targets? AG said to himself, his fury growing by the second. That hacker may be as even-tempered as you are angry. But if you're mind-linked, that means they're on the clock the same as you. Just remember, they're still linked to an ultimate Digimon, Lugermon rationalized. But Lugermon... I'm saying you're right, AG. If they're understanding us, now's our chance. You got it, AG barked, taking on one last look at his monitor to check his stats. Lugermon, Digivolve. Hit him where it hurts. Lugarmon, Champion, Dark Beast, Virus. Lugarmon was instantly enveloped in a ball of fire. They'd strike Bautman, who was now speeding toward Megadramon, at a speed and angle it never anticipated. Flame blow! Lugarmon crashed into Bautmon and sent it flying off into the distance. It blocked the full force of the attack with its knees, but that gave AG and Lugarmon enough distance to stay out of harm's way. Bautmon was visibly shaken, though it had blocked the worst of the attack. Its knees were now smoldering. It was taking continual damage from the remaining heat. AG saw the SOC team manage to secure Megadramon with their tools. You. Judge seethed, now forced to reckon with AG and Lugarmon. The move to its champion form had significantly increased the size of its legs, and its once blue-gray fur was now covered in flames that shot out from its body like a plume of decorative and deadly feathers. Howling Burner! Lugarmon roared, unleashing a torrent of fire. Boutman blocked again, but the magic flames now covered his arms, adding to the damage totally. Is evading all we can do against this Digimon? What is it even called? Lugarmon? Judge said through gritted teeth. AG kept up his hit-and-run attack patterns, keeping this fighting-type enemy at a healthy distance. Do you really have all day to keep this up, you puny pugilist? AG taunted. He had no idea what Judge was capable of, nor of how much time they had left. Everyone had a time limit, but how close was Judge to theirs? If they are particularly compatible with their Digimon, this could be a long fight. That's why you downgraded, isn't it? You spent some time linked to a mega form, launched a big attack, and now, despite being an amazing hacker, you found yourself needing to downgrade in order to buy yourself a little more time. You can't stay in there forever. The rest of AG's teammates remained in their rookie forms. Time was the most important factor now. They didn't have to win, they just had to buy enough time to get Marvin out of here. All units, retreat! You too, AG, hurry! Shouted a familiar voice in the chat room. Marvin, is that you? It sure is great to hear your voice. Megadramon had come to inside the collection tool, restoring Marvin's chat access to the process. The SOC members began fleeing the hangar. AG, Judge said softly, with a hint of recognition. Hacker Judge! Marvin yelled. You've made a huge mistake destroying Machine Dramon. You're gonna regret making enemies with the SOC. Keep barking, little dog. You've lost this fight, Marvin, the songsmith, Judge said dismissively. You'll pay for this, Leon of Judgment, Marvin shouted back from within Megadramon's wounded body. Leon? AG's ears pricked up at the name. AG, look! Lugarmon drew AG's attention back to his opponent, who was once again downgrading, this time to the rookie level. Pulsemon, rookie, Beastman, vaccine. They must have decided it was time to give up. They destroyed Machine Dramon, which was the only objective. AG looked pointedly at the small fairy-like Digimon that now stood before him, shooting off sparks like small fireworks. He couldn't shake the feeling he'd seen it somewhere before a long time ago. I'll only show you, AG. This is my treasure. My best friend. It all came rushing back to him. He was just a boy in elementary school when his friend showed him the same exact Digimon. He didn't know anything about Digimon, let alone the digital world back then. Pulsemon. AG turned the name over in his head. Is that you, Leo? Leon Alexander? AG's curiosity got the better of him, and he hololized himself. He stood beside Lugarmon for his opponent to see. He saw a change in Judge's demeanor within Pulsemon too, perhaps at hearing a familiar nickname. Judge hololized himself. He was blonde-haired and blue-eyed, as AG remembered, but the small boy he once knew had grown into a sharp, muscular young man. But that face, it was him. It couldn't be anyone else. Leo. Eiji Nagasumi. The screeching sound of an alert shattered their reunion. The X-Nation's reinforcements were approaching, and alarms were sounding. The SOC attackers turned rescuers fled, with Marvin and Machine Dramon still ensnared in their capture tool. AG, however, couldn't take his eyes off Leo and his partner Digimon. Leo, it's you! How could you become a filthy codecracker? Bullets rained down from above. The X-Nation's defense forces had assessed the situation, and rained fire down upon Pulsmon. In an instant, Pulsmon turned into a bolt of lightning and shot away faster than AG or anyone else could track with the naked eye. So you're a hacker now. I don't know what kind of history you have with Judge, but we're done here. We have to get out, now! Lugarmon barked, holding the security forces at bay with a wall of fire. Deep inside the Digicore, AG's mind reeled as Lugarmon fled the hangar.